Good morning, students. Today I have the new chapter, that is the substances in everyday uses. Okay. Simply we can say in last particular chapter you studied about the carbon compounds or the carbon. What is the carbon? The important element, that is carbon, and what are the compounds are formed of the carbon. Okay. Now simply we can say in last chapter we studied all the organic compounds are made up of the carbon. So that we can say the carbon containing compounds are called as the organic compounds, which having the very importance in our life. Okay. Like that in our everyday life we use the different kinds of substances in our home, in our particularly the outside. So simply we can say in our home we use the main or the very common compound, that is the sodium chloride, that is NaCl. Okay, which is known as a table salt. Secondly, we use the another compound, that is the we can say the calcium carbonate. Okay, that is commonly known as the chuna in Marathi or Hindi. Okay, after then there are so many particular substances, just like the baking soda, that is sodium bicarbonate, just like the detergent powder, just like the washing soda, that is Na2CO3. All these compounds which we use in our daily life, which having the more importance to do the work. Okay, all right. Let's see in this chapter some of the main compounds, the main substances which we use in our daily life. Okay, all right. Now commonly these are called as a substances, salts, simple salts. Then what do you mean by the simple salts? Now look at this particular picture. The simple salts means what? Generally all the salts are the ionic compounds. You know that the properties or the characteristics of ionic compounds. So that we can say that all the salts which are the ionic compounds which particularly prepared or which particularly made up of the cations and anions. Then what is the cations and anions? You know that better. Okay. Now look at the particularly blackboard. Now you know that the salts which having the H positive ion and OH negative ion. There is no H positive or OH negative ion present in the salt, as they are the ionic compounds, but they are having only the cations and anions. For example, we take here the sodium, that is the sodium having the positive ion, that is it is also called as plus, the chlorine having the negative ion, so that it is the formation of the NaCl, which is neutral, because the compound is formed is neutral, which is known as a simple salt. Why? Because it is made up of the cations plus anions which are equal in number, which neutralize to each other to form the neutral salt. Okay, now this is the particular definition of salt. Then what is the salt? The particularly the ionic compounds which is formed without H positive or OH negative ion, but it is formed just the cations and anions, to combine the cations and anions to form the salt. This is called the simple salt. Okay, now look at the some particularly salts which are present in the seawater. You know that the seawater is very saline, it is very salty in taste. Okay, it having the much more number of the salts present in it. Now which kind of salts present in the seawater? Now look at the blackboard. Now the salt present in the seawater is the NaCl, that is sodium chloride. Second one, that is the magnesium chloride, that is the magnesium sulfide. After that, the calcium carbonate, the calcium chloride, and last there is a magnesium bromide. Now these are the some common salts which are present inside the seawater. Okay. Now in your textbook there is a table is given. Now in this table there are the some or a few of the particular compounds which we use in our daily life are given. Now you have to complete that table according to the some points, just like the original color of that substance. Secondly, what is the pH of that substance and what is the nature of that substance. Okay. Now first of all, the table salt. You know that the table salt. Okay. NaCl, which is particularly we can say the slightly white in color, or it is the just like the watery in color. It is a crystalline substance. Okay. Secondly, the soap. Naturally the soap is in yellow in color. Okay. Third is given, that is the baking soda. It is whitish or the white in color. After then the washing soda, it is also particularly the white in color. And last is given, that is a POP, that is plaster of Paris. Now it is also the white in color. Now among these all having the basic in nature, because their pH is above the 7. Okay, on the pH scale. Only the POP which having the below the 7 range, so that it is acidic. इसलिए उसको हम बोलेंगे ऍसिडिक. ओके, तो पर्टिक्युलरली हे झालं नेचर, कलर आणि त्यांचा पीएच. आता हा पीएच आपण कसा काढतो? यू नो दॅट हाऊ कॅन वी डिटरमाइन द पीएच ऑफ द सबस्टान्सेस? You studied about the litmus paper. We test those substances with the litmus paper. The color change in the litmus paper particularly determine the pH of that substance. Okay. In next period we consider what is the pH scale. Okay. Thank you.